Hello and welcome back. So this is another anti-haul or not where I basically talk about new releases and my thoughts on them, whether I would buy them or not. So let's get into it. Stop. ColourPop is coming out with another collaboration with I Love Sarai. And so, okay, it's an eyeshadow palette and some lip bundles. The palette looks pretty, but it's still a warm neutral with a pop of blue. But however, it does look like it has coral in it, which is the new color of the year. So it looks a little bit different, but it's not quite intriguing enough for me. Okay, this next release is super exciting for me, and that is because Milani is coming out with a concealer and it's gonna be $9, 18 shades. That I think is very exciting because I do really like the Milani Conceal and Define or Conceal and Perfect, I don't remember, foundation. It's a really good formula. I couldn't quite exactly find my color in it. I tried a few and I think I was in between those, but I really like trying new concealers, and so yeah, I really want to try that. Next up is a new palette from Viseart, and this is a brand I've wanted to try, but somehow it never intrigues me that much. And when I saw this palette, I thought, oh my gosh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the palette I want to get. It is super colorful and beautiful. It is called the Koi palette. It's got blues and kind of pastels and green. It's really pretty. But then I realized it was all shimmer shades. Why? Why would you do that, Viseart? I know that they have a lot of all matte palettes and all shimmer palettes, but I prefer a combination of matte and shimmers. I just do. And $80, I mean, if I'm gonna spend that much on one palette, it's gotta be like exactly what I want, and this is just not it. Okay, back to Milani. I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but they're coming out with this face palette and highlighters and liquid highlighters, and it all looks really pretty. This face palette looks really pretty, but it's one of those that looks like there's divided pans, and I don't know, just getting a brush in those little pans, I don't like that. So Milani is a brand I really like, but unfortunately a lot of their products have not really worked out for me for one reason or another, but it's one that I always want to like keep trying and keep trying. So this intrigues me, but none of it is super interesting. Okay, this is an eyeshadow palette we all saw coming from 10 miles away, Urban Decay, the Naked Reloaded. I mean, seriously, I mean, they discontinued the Naked palette. We knew that they were gonna re-release another one. And it's a money grab in my opinion to discontinue an item and then just change it a little bit and mildly change the name and re-release it. I know, I think it's a money grab. That's just my opinion, but this does look actually a bit more interesting than the original Naked palette. There's that coral, but the rest of the shades do look like they're similar, but just not exactly the same. And a lot of people have said that it looks like the Sultry palette, which it kind of does, but again, you know, whatever. The most annoying part of this for me, not just that they discontinued it and then re-changed it or whatever, the pans are different sizes. They're not all the same size. And I think that would just drive me crazy. So, plus Urban Decay is not my favorite eyeshadow formula, sadly. It is a brand that I do like, but the eyeshadow palettes I've had from them, once I tried other brands, I mean, I used to have all the Naked palettes, but then once I tried other brands like Too Faced or Juvia's Place, like pretty much any of those other brands, ColourPop, I like those formulas way more than I like Urban Decay. So definite pass for me, and I kind of just think they're desperate for sales. Okay, the next thing I saw was that Mario Badescu is coming to Sephora, and I thought this was very interesting because it is a more affordable brand. It's skincare, obviously. It's not super cheap, but some of the products are almost close to drugstore prices. Some are a little bit more. They have some creams and serums that are $40. And Sephora typically is a bit more high-end than Ulta, so I thought this was kind of interesting. But personally, if I'm gonna buy Mario Badescu, I would rather get it from Ulta because I have Ulta and I'd rather use the points and stuff. But Ulta is not in most countries, so maybe this is more convenient for people, although actually I don't even know if this is international. I'm guessing it is, but I don't know for sure. But I think it's interesting. Also, Mario Badescu, there's a lot that I've tried from this skincare line, and I would say only a couple things I really like, but I do really like the lavender spray. I use that as a makeup setting spray, and it is one of my favorites. Okay, next up is a really beautiful eyeshadow palette by Certifeye, and this is an indie brand. It is UK based, and this palette is beautiful. Blues, greens, oh my gosh. This is a beautiful palette. When I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, that is something I kind of want to get. But I did want to ask you guys what you think of Certifeye, because Certifeye and Blush Tribe are sister brands in that they're actually owned by sisters, and they are both indie brands. They release a lot of colorful items, particularly eyeshadow palettes. And from what I've read, Blush Tribe is made in China. So I'm assuming that maybe Certifeye is too. I don't think there's anything wrong with products being made in China. Obviously, a lot of things are made in China, and a lot of makeup I own is made in China. But typically products that are made in China, such as, I'm pretty sure Juvia's Place is, Morphe, they cost a lot less. And these palettes are about $40, plus I'd have to pay international shipping. And I just feel like if it's made in China, I would prefer it to cost less, because typically most other brands are less expensive if they are made in China. So again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I don't even know if Certifeye is, but I'm pretty sure from what I've read that Blush Tribe is. So please let me know if you know. Again, I'm not bashing things made in China. I just think that for the price point, I think that's a little bit high. So, but this palette is gorgeous, and actually all the palettes from Certifeye are really beautiful. Their color stories, I think, are some of the best I've ever seen. Really, really nice combos, very colorful, but still makes sense. It's not just like rainbow palettes, although they do have one that's a rainbow palette, but the rest are really nice color stories. So I like that. But yeah, let me know what you think about those two brands. Okay, I just did want to make one comment about Blush Tribe. If you guys watch Makeup Struggles, I really like her channel, and she made a really funny comment that I kind of thought was true in her worst makeup of 2018, where she said Blush Tribe is the Morphe of small YouTube channels. And it kind of is feeling that way to me, because so many people between like 5,000 and 60,000 subscribers all get PR. They all have coupon codes. They talk about it a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure the eyeshadows are great, although Makeup Struggles hated the Hasina 2 palette. But anyway, I really like her channel, by the way. She's hilarious. But I thought that comment was kind of funny, and I kind of think it's true. I'm kind of at the point where I'm a little bit sick of hearing about this brand, but that's just me. I just thought it was funny. Okay, last up, 2 releases from e.l.f., which I think are very, very interesting. Again, a concealer. I love concealers. They're coming out with a new concealer. It is $6. Looks like they have a pretty decent shade range. I'm not sure exactly, hard to tell because they didn't show them all. But I love e.l.f. But again, this is a brand where a lot of the products have not worked out. But, you know, that's okay, it happens. They have 2 other concealers which I have tried. One was extremely light coverage and didn't like it at all. The other one was light coverage. It was okay, but the shade range was ridiculous. There were only 3, and the lightest shade really was too dark for me to use on my under eyes. So I don't know, but the formula on that one I liked more. But again, the shade range, I think it was 3 shades. That's absurd. So it looks like they've expanded for this one. So I want to try this one too. Last up is a really pretty palette by e.l.f. and this is $14, and it's got blues and pink. It just looks really, really pretty. And the price is good, $14. But again, e.l.f., I have not loved their eyeshadows. There are some things from e.l.f. I really, really like, but their eyeshadows I thought were really, really sheer. And I don't like that. I like a very pigmented eyeshadow. So this shape of palette, they are releasing quite a few now, and they have others that are out. So if you have tried these, please, please tell me what the quality is like, because I don't want to get it if it's sheer, but if it's pigmented, I think I actually would get that. Okay, that's it for my anti-haul or not Some interesting releases actually. Yeah, let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.